The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and lies. Outside the labor ward, a woman screamed in pain, while her husband laughed. "Relax," Raghav Malhotra said casually, adjusting his designer cufflinks. She was weak anyway, his mother smiled. His mistress squeezed his hand. And inside the delivery room, Ananya Malhotra was fighting for her life. This is not just a story about betrayal. It's about what happens when people celebrate too early and underestimate a dying woman. Watch till the end. Because what the doctor whispered next changed everything. Raghav Malhotra was a billionaire by inheritance, not effort. He ran a powerful real estate empire, lived in a mansion, and believed emotions were for poor people. To him, marriage was a contract, and Ananya had failed at it. She hadn't. She had just stopped being silent. Ananya was brilliant, top of her class, MBA gold medalist, sharp, calm, and compassionate. But she believed in love. She married Raghav thinking partnership meant respect. She was wrong. The first insult came softly. "You think too much," Raghav said one night. "Just be grateful." Then came control. Then neglect, then Tara. Tara was loud where Ananya was quiet. Bold where Ananya was thoughtful. Raghav flaunted her cruelty like power. "She understands me," he'd say. Ananya stopped arguing. She started observing. When Ananya got pregnant, she hoped. Maybe a child would soften hearts. Instead, it hardened them. The in-laws wanted a son. The mistress wanted security. Raghav wanted convenience. Ananya became invisible. She complained of dizziness. "She's dramatic," the mother-in-law scoffed. "She fainted once." "Stop embarrassing us," Raghav snapped. Doctors were skipped, appointments ignored. Ananya kept notes, dates, messages. She prepared silently. Labor began early. Ananya begged to go to the hospital. Raghav sighed. "Fine, let's get this over with." No hand held hers, no comfort given, only impatience. Inside the delivery room, Ananya screamed as complications worsened. Outside, Tara leaned into Raghav's shoulder. "Soon," she whispered, smiling. "We'll be free." The mother-in-law nodded approvingly. Suddenly alarms rang, doctors rushed. Blood loss increased. The lead doctor stepped out, serious. "We're losing her," he said. Raghav barely looked up. "Save the baby," his mother said coldly. "If it's a boy." Minutes later, silence. A nurse emerged, eyes downcast. "I'm sorry," she said. "We lost the mother." The mother-in-law exhaled in relief. Tara smiled. Raghav stood still, not in grief, but calculation. "There's no problem now," Tara whispered. "No divorce, miss," the father-in-law added. They discussed funerals and future weddings. No tears, no shame. The operating room door burst open. The doctor stepped out again. Sweat on his brow, voice low, shaken. He leaned toward Raghav and whispered words that stopped time. "It's twins." "Twins?" Raghav blinked, certain he'd misheard. His mother's smile slid off her face like a mask. Tara stiffened, fingers digging into Raghav's arm. "That's not possible," the mother-in-law said sharply. No one mentioned twins. The doctor didn't argue. One baby was delivered, the second is in distress. He turned and rushed back inside. Nurses ran, monitors beeped louder. Doors slammed. The family that had just been planning celebrations stood frozen, suddenly unwanted by fate. Tara whispered, "If there are two inheritance changes." Raghav finally felt something twist in his chest. Fear. The remaining baby's heartbeat flickered on the screen. "Come on, little one," a nurse pleaded. Ananya lay still, her body pale. Her hand cold, but her work wasn't finished. A cry pierced the air. Then another twin girls, tiny, premature, alive. The doctor closed his eyes briefly. "They made it," he said, barely. The doctor stepped back into the corridor. "Both babies are alive," the mother-in-law exhaled. "Then, two girls," the doctor added. "Silence." The mother-in-law's face hardened. "No son," she muttered. Raghav flinched. "You should be grateful," the doctor said coldly. "Your wife died saving them." Raghav opened his mouth. No words came. Hours later, a nurse approached Raghav. "She asked us to give you this if anything happened." Inside was an envelope, Ananya's handwriting. "Steady, prepared." The letter shook him. "If you're reading this, I didn't make it. Please don't pretend you're surprised." Attached were documents. Medical reports showing neglected appointments. Messages left unanswered. Audio recordings. Proof a legal notice followed. Ananya had placed her inheritance into a trust. Custody clauses, protection clauses. Her friend Mira named guardian if conditions were broken. Raghav's mother exploded. She was unstable. The lawyer shook his head. She was precise. Tara backed away. This ruins everything, she whispered. Raghav finally looked at her and saw what Ananya had always known. Nurses talked, doctors judged. How could they smile? I saw them laughing. The hospital watched. He stood before the NICU. 2 incubators, 2 heartbeats. Ananya's heart gone. He pressed his palm to the glass. I didn't know, he whispered. But he did. The lawyer returned. You can fight the will, he said. But the evidence will destroy you. Raghav closed his eyes. For the first time in his life, he was cornered. Truth has a way of escaping locked rooms. By morning, a short video spread across social media. It showed hospital security footage, Raghav laughing. His mother smiling, Tara leaning close, time-stamped. Minutes after Ananya's death was declared. The caption read, they celebrated. Within hours, the Malhotra name trended worldwide. News anchors spoke carefully at first, then brutally. How does a family celebrate a woman's death? Was this neglect? Who is the mistress seen holding the husband's hand? Phones rang non-stop. Sponsors paused deals. Board members demanded answers. The empire trembled. Tara locked herself in the guest room. Her influencer contracts vanished overnight. Her followers turned vicious. Homewrecker, murderer, gold digger. She confronted Raghav. You said this wouldn't happen, she cried. You said she was weak. Raghav stared at her. She wasn't, he said quietly. You were just louder. That silence ended them. The Malhotra elders arranged a press meet. Crocodile tears prepared statements, but reporters had evidence. A journalist raised her hand. Why did you ignore medical warnings? Why was the wife's will hidden? Why was the mistress present? The mother-in-law snapped. She was unstable. Gasps filled the room. That clip went viral in minutes. That night, Mira released Ananya's recordings as advised by lawyers. Ananya's calm voice echoed online. If I die, it won't be sudden. It will be because I was ignored. The nation listened and believed her. Women's rights groups protested. Hospitals demanded accountability. A criminal negligence case was opened. Raghav was summoned. For the first time in his life, his money couldn't buy silence. The judge reviewed everything, medical records, voice notes, video footage. Then he spoke. This court recognizes gross emotional and medical neglect. Raghav's mother collapsed into her chair. The judge continued. Custody of the twins remains with the father under supervision. The Malhotra elders are barred from involvement. The will stood. Ananya won. Tara was questioned next. Her lies contradicted records. She was escorted out of court. Cameras captured her fall. No makeup. No smile, just consequence. Outside court, reporters swarmed. Do you regret it? Someone shouted. Raghav stopped. For the first time, he answered honestly. Yes, he said. And regret is too small a word. That night, the mansion felt empty. No parties, no applause. Just 2 cribs. Raghav sat on the floor between them. 2 tiny lives breathing. 2 chances Mira visited. She trusted you with one thing, Mira said. Don't fail again. Raghav nodded. I won't. Not because he promised. Because he had nothing left to lose. The Malhotra group had survived recessions, scandals, and rivals. It did not survive the truth. Within days of the court verdict, investors panicked. Stocks plunged. International partners suspended contracts. Board members demanded Raghav step down temporarily. Temporary became permanent. The name Malhotra, once untouchable, became toxic. The elder Malhotras were summoned for questioning. Medical negligence, emotional abuse, witness intimidation, nurses testified. Doctors confirmed ignored warnings. The mother-in-law screamed in the station. We gave him everything. The officer replied calmly. You took everything from her. Silence followed. Society turned brutal. Invitations vanished. Friends crossed streets. Luxury circles shut doors. The mother-in-law's bridge club expelled her. The father-in-law resigned from charitable boards. They blamed Ananya even now, but blame no longer worked. Raghav moved out of the mansion. He chose a modest apartment near the hospital. Luxury felt obscene now. He woke up at night to cries, not from guilt but responsibility. He learned how to hold a bottle, how to calm fear, how to stay, the things Ananya had begged him for. One evening, Mira brought a box. She left this for you, she said. Inside were letters Ananya had written but never sent. One stopped his breath. I don't need you to save me. I need you to see me. Raghav collapsed. Tara tried one last time. She leaked private photos, tried blackmail. But this time, Raghav exposed everything. Messages, payments, agreements. She disappeared from public life overnight. Months passed. Raghav sold shares quietly. He funded a maternal health trust under Ananya's name. Free checkups, legal support. Counseling, not PR. Repentance. The girls smiled for the first time. Raghav cried when they laughed. Mira watched him carefully. He's changed, she admitted. Change didn't erase guilt, but it earned time. A documentary aired. Ananya's story reached millions. Women spoke up. Hospitals changed protocols. Her death saved lives. Raghav Malhotra no longer wore the trappings of a billionaire. No suits. No power meetings, no meaningless titles. Instead, he woke every morning to 2 pairs of tiny eyes staring at him. 2 daughters alive. Strong, he had rebuilt his life. Not as a billionaire, but as a father. The girls, now toddlers, had inherited Ananya's sharpness. Raghav read to them every night from books she had loved. Stories of courage. Stories of justice. Stories of mothers who refused to give up. Mom was brave, one whispered as she hugged her sister. Raghav's chest tightened. He had failed her once, but he would honor her memory now. Raghav, under Mira's guidance, established the Ananya Trust. Free maternal care for women in high-risk pregnancies. Legal advocacy for neglected mothers, education and support for children who lost parents. The empire he once controlled crumbled. But this foundation saved lives, something Raghav realized was far more valuable. Years later, at a charity event, Raghav spoke publicly. I lost the person I loved most. I ignored warnings, neglected responsibilities, and believed in arrogance. Today, I dedicate everything to the memory of my wife, Ananya Malhotra, and to ensuring no child or mother suffers as she did. Cameras flashed. People listened. Her name carried weight, respect, and honor. The Malhotra elders, stripped of status and influence, lived quietly in regret. No press, no parties, no power. Their smiles from the night of her death were gone. They had underestimated a woman who had thought of everything, even her death. Tara disappeared from the public eye. Contracts lost, friends gone. Her name became a warning whispered in social circles. Never underestimate the consequences of cruelty. He sat by the twins' bedside one night. 2 tiny hands wrapped around his fingers. I will not fail you, he whispered. No money, no power. No influence, just love and responsibility. Ananya had prepared him for this. Her foresight, courage, and planning ensured the children survived, not just physically, but morally, emotionally, and spiritually. Years later, Raghav received a sealed envelope. Inside, a single note in Ananya's handwriting. If you are reading this, it means they are alive, safe, and loved. Remember, true legacy is not in wealth, but in love, courage, and integrity. Teach them that, and you will have honored me. Raghav wept, not for loss, but for the life she had preserved, for the lessons she had given, for the love she had left behind. The girls thrived. They were intelligent, kind, and strong-willed. Raghav encouraged them to ask questions, to seek justice, to speak the truth. Ananya's legacy, her courage, foresight, and love, lived in them. The world remembered Ananya Malhotra, not as a woman who died tragically, but as a mother who fought even in death, a woman whose intelligence and courage changed lives, toppled arrogance, and created a new future for her children. Raghav's life had been forever transformed. From arrogance and neglect, he had found redemption through responsibility, love, and action. The twins, her greatest gift, became a living testament. True power lies not in wealth or cruelty, but in love, foresight, and courage. They celebrated her death. They thought the story had ended. But life, karma, and love have their own timing. 2 tiny heartbeats survived, a legacy endured. Justice, though quiet, always arrives, and sometimes the most powerful voices are the ones that whisper even after they are gone.